Welcome, everyone, to the XP Guild's new Top 5 show. This is hopefully a recurring thing we're going to do. We're going to talk about top 5 things in D&D. So today we're going to talk about the top 5 DM Pet Peeves. These are all kind of my thoughts, my things that kind of bother me, or things that I've heard other people talk about that bother them. Not necessarily in any particular order, but let's get into it. Number 5. Phones and devices. Alrighty. So, number 5 on this list, we're looking at phones and devices. So we're looking at, if you're at the table, let's put the phones away, the devices away, unless you're using just your character sheet. That's fine. We all use that. I use my phone, my computer, whatever, for my character sheet, my notes, stuff like that. That's perfectly fine. But if you're there scrolling through the scores of the latest ball game, or checking out memes, texting, talking on your phone, it's distracting. You're not ready for your turn. So please put those phones and devices away, and I'll figure out that bit eventually. Move on so that you can play the game. We can keep everything running smoothly. That's a big thing. As DMs put a lot of time and effort into this game. What we ask for you to do is show up ready to play, ready to put your effort into it. Let's look at number 4 on the list, real world correlations. This in particular, I know, was something that David mentioned he wanted to talk about. Real world correlations. We're playing a fantasy game in a fantasy world. Just because a certain hit or whatever would kill someone in real life doesn't mean it's going to do it here. I would not survive a fireball in real life. Believe it or not, I am not that strong. But your character might be able to. Things like that. So don't always say this would work in real world, so it's going to work here. There's things that there aren't mechanics for them in the game. Every now and then it's fine. Like, I like you being creative. I like you pulling things that you know would work, as long as it's realistic that your characters would have that ability, knowledge, whatever, scientific chemical reactions that no one knew about in 1500 or 1400 or whatever. Let's leave those real world correlations behind. Moving on down our list, we're going to be looking at number 3, narrating crippling damage. That's right, narrating crippling damage. This is a particular pet peeve I've had for quite a while now. Players often like to say, I swing my sword and I chop off his hand. Okay, nice and interesting. I'm glad that you're calling a shot or whatever. However, that's not how the mechanics of the game work. There are hit points. There's not necessarily, unless you're playing some third-party modification, and I know there are some where you can call your shots and it affects the outcome of the game. But we have monsters that have certain number of limbs, certain number of eyes, so you targeting specifically one and narrating that that's what your hit does puts a DM in a pigeonhole. If you say I dodge to one side and I swing down aiming at his arm, and you roll, say I got a whatever, DM can say yes, you hit, it strikes his arm, he screams out in pain and draws back, whatever. Let the DM tell you the outcome of your attack, unless of course it's the final blow. Like, we all are familiar with that famous critical role, how do you want to do this, right? Let the DM tell you, how would you like to do this? Or however you want to say, what does it look like as you slay this monster? And then you can say, I slice off his arm and I come back with a backstroke and take his head. Whatever. I love you being able to describe that as a player. Give me description information. But let's not tell me that there's crippling damage, then I have to tell you, no, that's not exactly what happened there. We're going to move on down this list to number 2, surprise character changes. That's right, surprise character changes. This is something that's come up in a couple of my games now, where players want to make a character change in the game, which is perfectly fine. as long as you talk to me first. Because I want to work that into the story beat. I want to make sure other characters or other players are ready for that. Whether it is something that needs to be a surprise to the other players, that's something. But that's something that I get to decide. It should not be a surprise to the DM. You should not be mid-session and all of a sudden you narrate your character leaving and a new character coming in. Sadly, that has happened to me. It makes it very hard to work that into the story. Very hard to make it so that your characters that are already in the game, the players that are already there, are invested in this new character that you want to introduce. So give me the opportunity to work that in. Give the other players an opportunity to be ready for that, if that's something that we feel that the group needs. So please don't make random character changes. Now, background elements that you want to throw in, as long as they're appropriate, that's fine. Things like that, it's okay. However, as a DM, I should probably know a majority of those things. So please, surprise character changes, leave them behind. And finally, let's go to number 1, spotlight hogging. Spotlight hogging. I don't know if you guys have ever played with players, either as DMs or as a player, where there's that player that always wants to be in every single scene. They always want to be the best at everything. Please, as a player, you should design your characters to be good at certain things. Great. We want that. We want you to excel at things. I don't want you to try to excel at everything, though. I've played many times where I play a character that might even be better at something than someone else, but if that other character says, I'm going to go do this thing, and I wasn't in that area, I wasn't in that scene, I let it happen. Whatever happens, happens. If they need help eventually, they can maybe come to my character. However, I don't try to interject myself there. Also, if you're a character and you say, I went off to do this thing, and that would physically take your character off for a certain period of time, and then another character goes, oh, I'm going to go do this thing, don't jump in and say, oh, I'd like to go do that with them. Because you've already narrated your character doing something totally different. Now you're retconning to come back and be in the scene with the other character that maybe needed that solo spotlight, maybe needed that spotlight with a different character. So please, let's leave the spotlight hogging behind. A good way to up your RP skill, let yourself be out of some of those scenes, or then narrate other characters into scenes. I go to look at this, I call over, hey, Romy, come check this out. Do you know anything about this? Include other characters, share the spotlight, pass the spotlight off, like a baton in a race. Pass it on, move on. That has been my top 5 list. These papers are indeed blank. I just thought it was a cool little gimmick. If you're checking this out and you're enjoying this, I'd like to do more of these. Different top 5 lists of various things. Whether it's top 5 things to up your RP or whatever, top 5 spells of a certain class or whatever. If you're interested in that, I'd love to hear which ones you're interested in. Drop a comment on our YouTube video. Send us email, thexpguild@gmail. We're not that professional. Hit us up on Facebook. We have a Facebook page there. We're also on Patreon, so you can jump in there and send us a message through there, whether you're a Patreon or not. We do love the idea of any of you considering being a patron. We have it like basically just $1 or whatever, just a little bit of money just to say thank you. We are working on trying to provide maps and things like that. I do from time to time throw those up. I need to get back to that point. However, the party has not been in too many places where I have ready-made maps to pass off. But what that does is it helps pay for things. We have a few subscriptions actually that I got to look at today to pick up to improve some of our map abilities and our content world building abilities. So there are subscriptions that I pay for personally for the XP Guild. Some of those Patreon money or you being a Twitch sub here on Twitch using your Amazon free subscription. 2 is possible to help me pay for all those things. Don't make any money. I work a full-time job, so it's just, this is a labor of love, and I do enjoy doing it. If you are enjoying it and you find that $1 here or there may be worth it, we appreciate it. We all work hard for our money, so you showing us that it does, it does touch us, and we are appreciative of it, and we're working hard to continue the value here as a channel. We've got gameplay for sure, and we're trying to add things like this. So if you like it, please let us know. We love you all, and thank you all. This has been Bill from Southern California's XP newsroom. I don't know. I'll work on that. Bye, guys.